Welcome to the Dr. April Jasper Show, relevant conversations for business owners of today. We are grateful to have OcuSoft as a sponsor of our show. Since 1986, OcuSoft has served the community with a unique selection of proprietary brands, from dry eye care and protection with Retain line of artificial tears to eyelid hygiene with OcuSoft Lid Scrub eyelid cleansers essential for maintaining healthy eyes. Zoria Skincare from OcuSoft offers revolutionary products for people with sensitive skin and eyes. Thank you to OcuSoft for being the #1 doctor-recommended brand of eyelid cleansers and providing patients and doctors with products and supplies to continue to keep our eyes healthy. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Dr. April Jasper Show. And we're really excited, David and I, to have our good friend Anthony here. You heard us talk about him, didn't they?
Yeah, probably on mine, right?
I think so. So you guys know that David wanted to do an Ironman last year, 2024. That was his goal. And you heard the story, Anthony, how that happened. He just, one day we were doing a podcast and I said, what do you want to do? What's your goal this year? And he says, I want to do an Ironman. And so, of course.
And I know the right people.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The first thing you thought of was Anthony.
That's right.
So, David, take it away. Introduce Anthony. Tell everybody who he is. And I'm just going to say you have been such an integral, did I say that right?
Yeah,
yes.
integral.
Part of David's whole journey in this, Anthony. So if I don't get a chance to say anything the rest of the podcast, I just want to say thank you.
Well, thanks for that.
It is.
And congratulations on becoming an American citizen.
Yeah,
look, he's wearing the flag.
1 month ago, yeah.
I am very proud of you. Welcome to America.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And then I'll turn it over to David.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this earlier. We met almost 4 years ago, right?
Correct.
The first Hope Ride.
First Hope Ride, yeah.
Because we were doing that. We had never met before that.
No.
We met on the ride.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started thinking about doing Ironmans is because he told me about it.
Yeah.
And we did the ride. We did the Hope Ride together, Jacksonville to West Palm Beach, 300 miles in 3 days. And I had never ridden 100 miles before that ride. So Anthony was very inspirational that whole ride and keeping me running and going and just on track. And I was like, you know what? He's like, you need to do an Ironman. I'm going, an Ironman? What are you, nuts? What is an Ironman? I didn't even know what an Ironman was. So that's how. That's kind of how we got started. And then because you had already done what by then?
I think by then I did like 10 of them for sure.
Before that Hope Ride.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm way behind.
And you're exactly the same age. So if Anthony
right?
can do
Correct.
it, you can do it.
That's right. Yeah. So it was just like, okay, we just kind of evolved. Did you do it the next year too? Hope Ride?
I was.
Took the year off.
I think it was the COVID year, so it was off.
That's
and
right.
The next one, I was in Europe
Okay.
I got stuck for 1 year and a half.
Oh, that's right.
So I was not able to come back. So I think I missed like 2 up rides.
Okay.
And then I came back 2 years ago for I think the last one we did from Jacksonville to West Palm.
Yeah. That was last year, right?
Yeah.
Year before last.
The year before that, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think people know, David, that Anthony also owned. So he not only is a trainer and coach and fitness instructors, I mean, all of these things, but you are an entrepreneur. You had a restaurant at one time, right?
Correct. I used to have a restaurant. That's how I managed to come to the United States.
Tell us all about you, your past, where you are today. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when I came to the United States, to answer your question about the restaurant, that was a fantastic experience because I always been managing companies for owners of those companies for the longest time in Europe.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Latin America, to Peru, to manage the sales for that company, which was the name was Franke. It's still Franke. It's a Sing company, and so I was in charge of the sales in all Latin America.
Wow!
And then after 13 years in that company, I was like, okay, I'm done with that. I want to have another kind of experience, and then I found out that you can have a visa E2 for the United States. If you buy a company in the United States, then you can stay and become legal.
Wow!
So that's the first step I did when I came to the United States. I just bought a company. It was a restaurant. It was a pizza and wings a restaurant.
That.
And so I had
Was
to
it
learn
French pizza and wings?
No, it was New York style. So I never changed the recipes because people were used to it. They were loving it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just blend in and try to to do everything the same way it
Yeah.
was done before.
Perfect.
And so it was a nice thing to be able to do that step,
Yeah.
of owning your business.
Yep.
After running business for other people, it was a nice transition. And then after that, that's when I met Sandra, my wife, and then I had to move on from that because it was in Fort Lauderdale, so it was too south, and I was
Yeah.
driving 1 hour.
Too long to commute.
Yeah, it was
So you were living up here.
Woo!
Yeah, and we were living in Palm Beach Gardens back in time, so it
Oh
was,
my goodness.
so it was too much of a commute. So I say, okay,
Forgot
let's
about
forget about it. So I sold it, and had to go back to France for for a while. Got stuck for COVID, and then came back and then got my green card first, and then get a job, and then got my citizenship like 1 month ago,
That is amazing.
So awesome.
and that's it.
So 2024 citizenship. Oh no, it was 2025, wasn't it? It was only it
Yeah,
was this year.
Yeah, 2025,
Okay.
22nd of January.
Wow.
So it's it's almost a month and a half now.
So good. I remember getting the picture when you sent the picture of standing in front of it with your certificate. That was great.
Yeah, it was
Great.
That was a great moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Love
how
it.
did you get into fitness and triathlons and Ironmans?
So that's. I was thinking about that when I was driving here because I was pretty sure you were going to ask that to me. I always been doing a lot of sport when I was a kid. I was playing tennis. That was my first sport, handball, when I was at school, and then soccer for the longest time. And after a while, soccer is too demanding on the knees, on the ankles, and so I stopped to play soccer for around when I was 32. And then I gained some weight. I was almost 250 pounds back in time, and I was in front of my TV with a friend of mine, and we ended up watching the Ironman of Hawaii
What?
live. And I was like, I'm gonna do that one day. I think it's cool. I want to do that one
my
day. And
gosh.
my friend just laughed, and that laugh got me into triathlon.
He laughed at you.
And so that got me into triathlon. I said, okay, I'm going to buy a bike first because I didn't have a road bike. And I went to the store, and it's a funny story because I got into the store, and the guy wanted to sell to me a very, very high-end bike, very light and everything. And I was bro, I'm 250 pounds. I'm going to start by losing weight myself. And then I'm going to take care about my bike losing weight. But first, I just want the entry-level bike and get into it and see if I like it. And
Nice.
and that's it. Then I had to learn how to swim because I didn't know how to swim.
Oh
so
my
I
gosh.
had
At
to
all?
learn.
Like none.
Yeah, breaststroke, painfully.
Okay.
Wait 5 minutes at the end of the pool to recover and then go back. And so I had to learn how to swim. And
Okay.
and the running, I had it from soccer, so I had no big deal with running. So
Right.
and that's how I got into triathlon. So small distances, and then little by little going to longer distances. And the goal was to end up doing an Ironman.
An Ironman. So this was all in France.
Yeah, that was I was in France back then. I was south of France.
South of France then. Okay.
Yeah.
But
So
you're from
how-
northern France, right? You're from Normandy area?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
I was born in the north of France.
Okay.
But yeah,
Nice.
when I got into triathlon, I was in south of France. So
All right.
I want to know timing. So how long did it take from the moment you said, I'm going to do this, until you competed the first time?
So it's October 2010, and I did my first Ironman in 2012.
Wow.
So 2 years.
So it
Wow.
took me almost 2 years. And the first one, I was working in Paris back in time. So I was living in south of France, taking the plane every Monday and flying back on Thursday. So I did like 95% of my training indoor in a gym.
Ugh.
And so that was kind of a big challenge for the first one, but it was a cool adventure. So made all the mistakes possible, and that's how I decided to get a coach, to train me and explain to
Right.
me what were my mistakes and how to get better, and that's how I got into getting better at it.
Wow.
Do you remember him telling us about the very first one? What, like going and actually being there for the Ironman? What are some of the things that, I mean, it was comical. Did you take like the wrong bike or didn't have all the right gear? What happened?
Oh, yeah, so my very first triathlon, I did it with my mountain bike. Because I didn't have bought that bike, and I was like super overweight, so I float quite well. It was a river swim, so
You float?
I float quite well because I had some extra pounds, so the swim went well. I
You're
just
so funny.
let me go downstream, and I was still learning crawl back in time, so I did most of it breaststroke, and then And then the bike on the mountain bike, everybody was passing me, like lapping me.
For sure.
So it was funny. And then the run was okay. I enjoyed the run. I said, okay, I like that. So I'm going to invest and put some more time in the swim and some more time in the biking. That's how I got there.
So, you know, what I think our audience, our listeners don't understand because they've never seen you actually on a bike and doing all the things you do, Anthony. He is strong as strong can be. I mean, David came home from the first Hope ride and he said to me, because I didn't really have a chance to talk to you much, and he goes, I met this guy, Anthony, and he's going to be my trainer, and I'm going to do an Ironman. And he kind of, I think you said maybe a triathlon, something like that. And I thought, what is he talking about? This is craziness. And I don't even think I took him seriously. Yeah. I just kept going about my business. But I do remember, even as a person knowing nothing about biking, I watched you, and I was just so impressed with how good you are at everything you do. And I think, Anthony, the thing that stood out to me about that first one was how you helped everybody around you. So that just really blew my mind, that here's this guy who's so strong, so capable, so good at what he does, and everyone around him, you're lifting them up, you're encouraging them, you're telling them you can do this, and that's who you were and who you are. So how did that happen? How does that become part of you and your life?
Are you looking for a nutritional supplement to help with your day-to-day vision needs? Look no further than MacuHealth. Recommended by doctors worldwide, MacuHealth offers a full line of products designed to support your vision and eye health. Available through eye care professionals on Amazon.com and directly on our website at MacuHealth.com. And here's the best part. Use the code OME24 when ordering direct from MacuHealth for special discounts. MacuHealth, nutrition you can see.
Well, once again, it comes from my work experience. When I was working in Europe, we went through some very hard moment in some companies I was working for, because they decided to change the IT system, and so the company completely got stuck, and everybody was like suffering because we were not able to deliver for our customers. Yeah. And you come from a position of leading a market to really putting your customer in a bad situation. Yep. And I was the managing director back in time at that company, and so everybody was suffering. And at some point, if there's nobody there to support them, it starts to become very, very complicated. And so when you are part of a board of director of a company, you need to show example. You need to be like a rock, even though you are going through the same process of doubt, very hard moments, and having to take decisions that are like sometimes nobody understands those decisions. Yeah. Like I clearly remember once I had to say to everybody, to all my sales guys, you need to tell your customers to go buy to our competitor because we are not going to be able to deliver them because the warehouse is stuck.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And everybody looked at me, are you crazy?
That's
and I was like,
yeah,
because if you keep telling them a lie that you are going to be able to deliver and we are not going to be able to do, they are going to never forget that. Whereas if you tell them the truth, they are going to remember, okay, when they were in the deep, deep trouble, they were able to tell us the truth and we were able to find another solution. So our companies kept going. Right. And that paid off because 2 years later, we were back with the same numbers and we come back. And so I remember that vividly, that kind of behavior, that when it's hard, when it's tough, it's super easy and it's going to be easier even for me if I lift other people and bring them to do the stuff. And that's what really made me realize that. And in sports, it's exactly the same. I mean, I'm at my level. When I do triathlon, I really challenge myself and I compete against myself. So there is no reason to hold back on other people around me and not helping them and have them avoid making mistakes, and because they are going to challenge themselves. Right. And if they are better than I am, they are going to be ahead, and if they are not, they are going to be behind. And I don't care. That's my point. Is when I take a start of a triathlon races, I'm just about my race, and I'm going to go for it. But before and after, I can be supportive, and I can bring my experience to other people. Right. And I really enjoy it, by the way. It's and that's the most beautiful part when you train people, is to take them at some point and give them everything you have and see what they make of it and how they transform that into a success. Yeah. And that's really what excites me. That's makes me thrive when I'm training people. And and I think Ironman Florida was a great example of it.
Yeah.
Because we had
100%. 100%.
You were like 6 people there, and I think I was training
was great.
2, and so you and John, and not everybody can put the same amount of training into it. So not everybody is going to be racing at the same pace. And I think we show. There was the 6 people that were there. We show 6 success stories.
Yes, you did.
6 success stories of people that were doing their first Ironman.
Yeah.
And that went through it in a different way because they were not prepared the same way. Because I mean, obviously, if we compare John to you, for example, John has much more time to train, so he followed the plan completely. Whereas you are a very busy person, so you have to fly. You have lots of
little roadblocks.
I'm waiting to see how
you're running a
he's gonna say
business.
this.
You are running a business, and so at some point you knew you were going to get there.
Yeah.
And the advice that I gave was completely different.
Right.
John was follow the plan, whereas you, it was like focus on what you can do,
right.
Move ahead, keep moving on. You can do it, you will do it.
Yeah.
It was more like a mental preparation because that's one of the aspects of Ironman. It's not you can get ready physically, but you need to be ready mentally. And if you're ready mentally, you can go.
And what was really cool, and I want to go back because you were talking about how you support people. And when you get in the groove, like when race day for you, you kind of get into this mindset. But at the same time, there's other people around you, and you're helping them out too.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I noticed about Ironman. That I mean, on the swim, you're just gonna get through it, and nobody's gonna push you. It's you either sink or you.
They're gonna slap you.
Hold on to
they can slap you. They can punch you.
Yeah, they might actually hurt you in the swim. But on the bike, people are cheering you on. Other riders. Even, I mean, people are going past you, and you can feel. As I was passing people that were struggling, I could tell they were struggling, and I might have passed them a couple times, and they might have passed me a couple times. So it was this back and forth. So you almost were like a cheerleader for each other, which was really cool. And in the run, same thing. So we had people. I mean, nobody's trying to beat me on the. I'm not. I'm 15 racing. Hours and 30 minutes into this thing. If somebody's trying to beat me, then okay, good for you. But everybody around me was like, let's go. You got it. And that's what really kind of surprised me about Ironman.
It's a community.
It is. And it was so cool to meet people that had done 4, 5, 6, 10, 20, 200. That the lady
210 or something.
She was at
crazy.
Almost. She was 180 and her husband was 220. They did 400. That was their 400th Ironman.
That was
what was your
incredible.
comment? They must have a lot of money.
Yeah, I asked her, by the way, after the race, what are you doing as a job? But to be able to, and she was like, I have a very good job. It's like, okay, good for you.
Because it's got to be. I mean.
But and I think that's what happened to you, because I mean I remember at some point I took my bike and I went towards you to see how you were doing at the very end of the coming back for the second
6
time.
miles away.
6 miles away.
6 miles away.
6 miles away to the finish line, and it was
I know where
dark
that was.
and everything. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go see how he's doing. And then I'm there, and you were chatting with that guy that was in his 6th or 7th Ironman, and I was like, okay. And I stayed back.
His name was Dave.
It's his moment. It's cool, and that's what's nice with Ironman.
Yeah,
it's a community. You know, only 1% of the people on the earth are going to do a marathon.
1%.
Only
1%.
A marathon.
1% of the population.
And so you did a marathon after swimming and biking for the rest of the day, and so that's I think only
it's 0.1%.
0.1% of the person that are going to do an Ironman.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And the community was amazing. That's what I got from him when he was saying how he likes to help people.
Yeah.
All the people along the way were like, whatever you need. I mean, if you needed to fall over, they were going to catch you. That's other runners that were in the same spot, right? Because obviously I'm going slow. I was slow. So all these other people are going slow too, but they're willing to help. So that was the coolest thing.
So how does somebody get there? So first of all, Anthony, there are going to be people who are listening that may be local and would want to call you, and probably you could help people even from a distance, couldn't you?
Correct. That's what I do. I'm training people in France.
Oh my gosh!
So I just do the training plan and then the debriefing of the training, and then we get ready for the race on distance by WhatsApp or on Zoom. That's what I do. Yeah.
How does somebody find you?
So they can go to my profile on Instagram. Fast.
We can share it we'll share a link.
Yeah, and of course they can reach out to me directly on my phone. That's how it works most of the time. And then I can help people that just want to get fitter, that just want to start doing sport, to people that really wants to perform.
Yeah.
People that wants to try to do a triathlon, whatever the distance is, to people that just want to run a better marathon or a better half marathon time, improve their time, people that wants to qualify, because now you can go to Boston, but you need to qualify for the marathons. And for Ironman, I have like 2 athletes that managed to qualify to the World Championship in Hawaii.
Oh, that's awesome.
And one in Nice and one in Hawaii. So that's something that I'm quite proud of, because I mean, it's easy to get people to do it, to make it to the finish line. It's easier, but to qualify for Hawaii, that means that you are in the top 10 or 10-15 in your category. So it's to keep people motivated to do that, they need like a self-motivation and also lots of involvement, personal involvement into it. So so it's something that I'm quite proud of. Yeah.
So, Anthony, we talked to Allison, our daughter, who's in optometry school. She and I talked earlier today about how to mentally make it through school, how to make it through testing. And one of the things I told her is that what helped me, and I'm not an athlete, not like you guys are, but even in studies, what helped me was visualizing success. I told her athletes do that, but tell us more, because I'm sure you teach that. You are the one that's, you'd know more about that than me. So tell us more about that.
So 100%. So this is something that, so when you train for a sport event, whatever it is, at whatever level it is, you have the physical preparation, which if you are studying, it's going to be you doing your homework and going through all your classes and learning them. Then you have the nutrition part of it, the physiological part of it, where you have to eat properly, you have to make sure you get the fluids in and the sleep in for recovery. Yep. And that applies also to students, because they tend to go to bed too late, or because they've studied, or because they're in the bar, I don't know, they choose. but that's something that is very important. That's the second part. And then the third part is the mental preparation of it, which is focus, mindfulness, and have a plan for it. I mean, try to really have your plan and make sure that you follow it. And the focus is, what is the goal? Where do I want to be?
Yep.
What do I want to achieve? And that's something that is very, very important. For me, it's the most important. And I learned it professionally, but I perfect it in the triathlon, thanks to triathlon. Because if you go into those events like without knowing what you're doing, then you are going to make all the mistakes possible, because it's a monster that just waits to eat you. and I think that the studies are exactly the same thing. It is some kind of unknown. People go there and everybody tells them, yeah, you need to do them. So they want to go. Yeah. But they don't really know what they want to do. So sometimes they start a study and it's not for them. And they realize it while they are starting to go for the first part of it, which is doing the homework. And sometimes they like it, and then now they need to be successful at it. And so what's the goal? What do I want to do with it? So first it's getting my exam, then it's start my professional life, get my first experience and everything. And so that's a plan. And I think that defining a clear plan to advance and to go through it is something very important. That's the way I would explain it.
I love it.
Go ahead, Dave.
No, I know
you had other questions for Anthony. I want to know, so I want my last question to be for Anthony. What is a day in your life like? Because you talk about nutrition, you talk about mindset, you talk about, the physical plan. But I think that for me, I hear people talk, and not you, because, we've spent time together and I get it. I see what you do. But I think for listeners, viewers that are seeing this, okay, so Anthony, you're saying I need to do the training, I need to be thinking straight, I need to eat right. What does that actually look like in a day of your life?
That's an excellent point. I have another job next to that, so I need to be in front of my laptop doing my other job, and it takes a lot of time out of me. So I need to be able to perform in that also. So the day with me is very, very simple. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I go train, because that's the first thing I have to do, because that's when my body is ready to go. I have full energy, and so I can go do that. So, for example, this morning I woke up at 5:30. I was on my bike, and then I went riding with the guys on the island, Jupiter Island. Then I came back and I went for a run, and then once that physical part of it is done, I need to recover. And so I have a cold plunge at home. So I put myself in the cold plunge for 10 minutes. So it helps my body to recover. And then I shower, and then I hit. So I can start my day at work, and I'm repleted. I have energy, and I can really focus again. So I try to stay away from any processed food, because that's the worst you can do. Your body is not meant to assimilate those food. It has never been. And if you think so, it's a lie. So you need to change, and your potato chips.
So lots of potato chips.
But you can have some, it's fine, but not every day. But once in a while, it's fine. I mean, and everything in excess is bad. So you can still have some small pleasure like this.
Right.
So, but I try to stay as simple as possible in terms of food. I am very careful about my protein intake. So I'm sure that I'm not losing muscle while exercising, and also fibers. You need to be very aware about the fibers that you intake, and fluids. You need to rehydrate a lot, and flat water, sparkling water, tea. You can have one coffee a day if you can do caffeine. Not everybody can, but I know it's one of your it's your kryptonite.
No caffeine. That is my kryptonite. That is my kryptonite.
So
it's my kryptonite. Yes.
Yeah.
No
so and that's it. And then I try to balance my diet as much as I can, and then put on the work that I have to do every day. And I try to squeeze a nap if I can, because that's something that really works well for me. I know it's not working well for everybody, but I try to have at least 20 minutes a day. If I can do that, it's very fast and very efficient.
Yeah. There's a lot of science behind that.
For me, it works.
Yeah.
I love it. I recover a lot, and then I have my afternoon of work in front of me, and I go to bed very early.
So how many hours of sleep should someone shoot for?
But it really depends on everyone. Some people just need 6 hours. Some people really need 8 hours. I know professional athletes, they sleep at least 10 hours a day.
10 hours?
Yeah.
Wow.
They do 8 hours, and they do naps.
I need my sleep.
Yeah.
He said athletes.
Well, she's an eye athlete. So
she's an eye athlete. Okay.
So she needs her sleep. And it really depends on everybody. Some people... you have lots of people that there was a trend for the longest time that CEOs that were saying, you only sleep 4 hours a night.
Oh, no.
Well, they die at 50, so...
They died at 50, no.
You need your sleep.
Won't
You
tell
need your
anybody
sleep.
that.
You need your sleep.
Yes.
That's right.
It's important to sleep, and that's a complete part of the recovery, and it's something that professional trainers are pushing forward more and more.
I love that.
That's cool.
It is. The sleep is very important.
All right.
Any more questions for him, Dave?
I'm good.
So did you ever have any doubts in your mind that you would make it through that Ironman?
Like the previous 3 months
Okay.
before it? Yeah.
Anthony, did you ever have a doubt in your mind that David would make it?
No. I always told him every time we were
did.
discussing about it. I always told him you're gonna go through it.
You're gonna be okay.
I knew that he was mentally in the right spot. It was his number one goal for the year, and he was ready for it. I mean, and you're a strong biker, so I knew the bike was going to be okay.
Right.
And
assuming you don't get 4 flats, right?
Yeah.
That would have been the catastrophe.
I was pretty confident for the bike. The swim, we swam together in open water a couple of times. I was quite confident too. I was pretty sure he was going to get out of the water, get out of the bike, and I was he's going to walk it, and he's going to make it, because we are going to be there.
You're gonna walk
and you were there too. I mean, at some point, you shared the last 3 miles with him, cheering. So he had everybody to. Your sister over there, your brother-in-law. So it was like that was a nice event. I have to say that it was one of the best races I ever been, and I was not even racing.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it was a great experience.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
You made it a great experience for us, and I know I had my moment of thank you, but I'll let you close with a thank you.
Oh man, no, yeah, thank you. I've told him 100 times thank you, and we just appreciate what you've done and all that you continue to do, and keep it up.
Life
Stay
lessons.
active, right?
No, thank you
Yeah.
for allowing me to be there and support you, because it was a great experience. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Awesome. We look forward to what you're going to do next. We're
That's
all
right.
going more things, right? More and more things. Let's go.
Every year new goals. That's life.
Thank you, Anthony. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.